Here we are with the chapter 4 of our curriculum, professional responsibility, ethics and plagiarism. The learning outcome of this chapter is to demonstrate responsible behavior in the communication, knowing the legal implications or consequences of irresponsibility and misconduct. Permission and plagiarism. A person is producing intellectual property or IP when he writes something or creates a drawing or embodiment of some idea. The IP is owned by the person, by someone who creates. It could be the author or artist, or the employer or customer for whom the work was done, or a third person or entity to which the IP has been sold. One needs to obtain permission to use the IP when you do not own the IP. So Taylor and Francis states that any material being reproduced exactly or in a modified form requires permission, including material you are using courtesy of a colleague or company. Even if you are reproducing your own previously published material, you need to apply for permission unless you have retained the copyright. Permissions usually need to be obtained from each publication. Quoting copyrighted poetry or lyrics always requires permission, no matter how short the quotation is. Permission. Permissions can be requested in many ways. Many publishers provide permissions request forms on their website, or you can create your own permissions request, email, or letter. When permission is granted, the publisher will indicate if a fee must be paid or if specific language must be included in the material used. Permission is not granted until a confirming email or letter is received. There is no need to always seek permission for using the ideas of other people if you are quoting or paraphrasing a small amount of that work or you properly reference that work. Some specific rules for citing and seeking permission for publishers' materials include the following. Using any verbatim text from a source document must be cited and set out from other text via quotes or different font type or indentation. Using any idea from a source document, even if the wording is substantially changed, must be cited. Then, using considerable portions of text in commercial works must be cleared by obtaining permission from the author or publisher of the source work. If you are reusing your own work and you transferred the copyright to another entity, permission to reuse the material must still be requested unless permission is expeditiously granted in the copyright transfer agreement. Figures and diagrams, if used unaltered from other sources, must be cited, and in the case of commercial use, permissions to reprint these material must be obtained. Figures and diagrams, if redrawn and altered from other sources, must also be cited. Violating any of the rules intentionally or unintentionally is considered as a copyright infringement or plagiarism. Plagiarism is basically representing others' work or your own work in unethical and unlawful way without following generally accepted referencing standards. Technically, it is going to be theft. So, plagiarism will include the following: turning in someone else's work as your own, copying words or ideas from someone else without giving credit to the original owner, failing to put a quotation in quotation marks, giving incorrect information about the source of the quotation, changing words but copying the sentence structure of a source without giving credit, copying so many words or ideas from a source that it makes up the majority of your work, whether you give credit or not. Plagiarism can be categorized as follows: copy and paste plagiarism, paraphrasing, translated plagiarism, artistic plagiarism, idea plagiarism, code plagiarism, improper use of quotation marks, and manifestation of references. So you can read and understand the explanation about each type and each category of plagiarism in the slide. Methods of plagiarism detection. So plagiarism, since it has become a practice in thesis writing and day-to-day writing, there are certain methods that has been developed to detect plagiarism. Plagiarism can be identified manually or with the use of a software. Plagiarism detection tools relies on content repositories, such as new materials are checked against the repository and similarities are flagged. Writing style and patterns. Search for substantial changes in writing style between paragraphs or sections based on authoring metrics and violation of referencing standards. So beware of content theft through plagiarism detection tools. So you can always be referring other people's material, other people's work, but then you should always be aware of the detection tools, both manual and software. Plagiarism detection tools. There are both free and commercial tools for plagiarism detection. Most of the tools are online due to the data required for detection process cannot be easily made available to all users, and also because data processing requirements because of that. Some examples of plagiarism detection tools are Turnitin, Black Duck, Viper, and etc. So these are the most popular plagiarism detection tools. Using resources and their licenses. What is a software license? A software license is the contract between the software owner and the license defining terms of use of software. Why licenses are important for softwares? To protect the owner and the user rights and benefits, protect the user from allegations, encourage contribution to the community, discourage unethical behavior of such as plagiarism. So what you should understand in connecting intellectual property or IP with software is that when you write a software coding, your software program sketch can be licensed through intellectual property. So if you write or construct a computer program, you should always be mindful to get the intellectual property law involved whenever you are doing it. Resources that can be licensed. So whenever there is a creative content in a software, image, writing, any artifact created by anyone with new and creative material, such can be licensed. Before using such licensed resources, you have to check and verify if the software resources you are using can be used in the way you are using it now, and spend time in reading the terms and conditions, software license, and related documentation bundled or referred by software or resources so that you spend less time and money on the consequences. Copyright and ownership. Copyright law does not protect any particular idea, it protects the expression of that idea. So making a program, the idea of making program, computer program is not copyrighted, but the expression, how you express the computer program or the software is what is going to be protected by intellectual property. So if I give you an example, if you draw a picture in a piece of paper, the particular drawing is copyrighted. Owners does not have to state something copyrighted. So if two of us, you and I, write about the sea, let's say we are writing a poem about the sea, you and I. So whenever the topic is given to both of us, we both would be writing about the scene. But then the way we express our idea would be different. Now, when two of us, you and I, would be talking about the sea, we both would be saying about sunsets and sunrises, how the waves collapse, how beautiful it is, the sight of the sea, how you feel, how salty it is. Those are all common ideas for both of us. But how we express the feeling of it is that is going to be protected under intellectual property. So that is why you should understand that when you say it is copyrighted, something is copyrighted, it is not the idea that is protected, but the expression of that idea that has been protected. Once something is created, it is copyrighted to that particular owner. The owner or the creator of that artifact or that software would be the copyright owner to that particular artifact or the program. Owner is decided by more agreements. Examples such as if you build the software as an employee, then the copyright belongs to the organization, unless if the organization has exclusively given the employee the right of the copyright through a copyright agreement. So there are categories of licenses in software, such as Creative Commons, a permissive license, GNU public licenses, a copyleft license, and public domain. So let's see what each of these mean. A Creative Commons is a permissive license. These are licensed under the Creative Commons contribution, no derives license. The license support more granular copyrights. It gives a way to address all rights reserved dilemma. You are free to copy, distribute, display, and perform the work. You can make commercial use of the work under the following concepts, such as attribution, sharing, derivative work, and commercial use. So this is something that I have obtained from Wikipedia site. So this is how the signs of the type of copyright given is is shown in different products, in different creative artifacts, and how you can understand the nature of the copyright that has been given. GNU public license. This is a copyleft license. GNU public license is a free software license that guarantees end users the freedom to run, study, share, and modify the software. Originally written by Richard Stallman, founder of the Free Software Foundation, FSF, for the GNU project. So GNU public license is a copyleft license, not a copyright license, it's a copyleft license. Main difference between open source licenses and copyleft licenses is that copyleft licenses allow the derivative work but require them to use the same license as the original work. Free and open source software, which are free software, and free in the sense of freedom of speech, not as free beer. So there you understand how free the free software can get. So for the further reading, you can use the link that has been provided. This is also there in the original course material that has been provided for you. And if you don't have access to that, you can always request for these slides, which I am referring now. Then we have the public domain. This refers to creative work that are not protected by intellectual property laws, such as copyright, trademark, or patent laws. Anyone can use a public domain work without obtaining permission from anyone, but no one can ever own it. It can be used without permission, but it cannot be owned. Work may come under this license due to created before copyright existed, copyrights expired, or dedicated by authors. additional licenses. Proprietary licenses are one type, licensed by the copyright holder under very specific conditions. Most of the time, the source is not distributed and does not allow to modify the software. For example, software Windows license is a proprietary license. Then there are permissive license. Code created under the license or derived from such code may go closed and developments can be made under the proprietary license. So BSD and MIT are examples for permissive license. Efficient use of search engines. Search engines provide advanced features to filter content through different conditions such as license, file type, time, etc. Advanced filters of a search engine can be used to improve the quality of the results to a particular search query, such as optimizing the queries. As a tool for you to prevent allegations on license violations to a certain extent. So you can use the search engines efficiently by using certain techniques that are there in the search engine itself and avoid getting into allegations on license violations. Even to find plagiarized content to a certain extent. There may be certain amount of plagiarized content, but for some content extent, you will be safe. Demonstration of efficient use of search engines. So there are Google search engines and its advanced features. There are customized filters. There are search verbatim, any of the word provided, etc. Search for specifics such as language, region, time, site or domain, file type, right to use, such as. So this is how you can use the Google search engine for advanced searches. The next slide will also tell you, give you a print screen of a Google search engine, whereas you can filter by license and how you can customize your sharing, searching process. All right, so that comes to an end. So I hope this lesson helps you in your future tasks of writing theses, writing project proposals, writing certain research works. This will be very important because you will know how to quote, how to refer, and how to quote previous work on the same subject, on the same topic, without violating intellectual property rights of anyone else. Thank you, guys.